All right, so you know how I'm always talking about if you get a few things done in a day, that's like miraculous. I'm having one of those days. The first stop is at multi-bank. I want to try and close my account. I've only had a couple $100 in this account for a couple of years because they closed the branch in Coronado and there's just not one around. But today I'm going to Penonome for a different reason, and there's a multi-bank branch in Penonome. So that's what I'm going to try and do first. Then I have two things I need to do at immigration. I need to get a stamp on my passport that says that I am a permanent resident. Apparently, you're supposed to do this. I didn't do it. The last time I traveled was with my new passport. I didn't have any problem, but it's one of those things that you're supposed to do, so I'm going to do it. The other thing is the rumor that's been going around that you have to register with immigration when you move. If you have a new address that's different from the address that was on your immigration papers. I checked with my lawyer because I heard all the rumors around Facebook, and because they're fining people $100 apparently if you don't update your address with immigration. How are they going to fine you if they can't find you? I'm not sure, but I figured let me just go and take care of it. It's in the same building where I need to get the passport done. So I'm just going to think those positive thoughts that they're not going to fine me, because some people don't get fined and other people are saying that they have to pay the $100. I'm just going to smile, be friendly, and hope for the best. And hopefully, and I've got, I had to get a color copy of the house deed. I have color copies of my passports, color copies of my cedula. I had to get copies of my utility bills to prove that I'm where I say I am, even though a house deed should be enough. Wish me luck. Oh, and I have to get a hairdryer because mine died this morning. All right, so I'm in Penonome, and I went to change my address, and they made me pay the $100 fine. There was someone who spoke English, and he understood what I was saying about, this has not been enforced. My attorney would have told me when I bought the house that I needed to, change my address. So you have to change your address within 30 days um, to let immigration know the new address, or you pay a $100 fine, like I just had to do. And I'm going to have to pay more money because I'm going to attempt to go to the DGI office, which is where you pay your property taxes. And I've been paying them online, but for the last 6 months, I've been trying to pay online, and there's an online issue. And I've emailed the tech email, and I never hear back from anyone. So I want to get that taken care of before the end of the year. I don't think there'll be any fine with that. I'm hoping I can pay with a credit card. Um, I was able to use a credit card at the immigration office, but kind of hesitantly. It was like, we'd much rather you pay cash. And I'm like, I don't have cash. Because that leads me to another thing that I need to do, which is go close out the multi-bank account, which is here in the plaza. So after lunch, I'm going to go deal with the bank. This is a crazy day. And the other thing that I did, so I had to get my car mirror fixed, the side mirror, because it was a little casualty in Panama City. And the mirror was just kind of like hanging on like a loose tooth. And I found a body shop, and I was hoping that they could like maybe fix it, that day. And the guy brought out one of the workers, and all he did was like press it really hard back into place, no charge. So that was fixed, which is awesome. I'm going to enjoy lunch and then go off to the bank. And Global Bank also has an office here, and I might try and take out cash. This would be like an unprecedented day. If I make it to the immigration office, the tax payment office, and 2 banks and get everything done that I want to get done, I will be amazed. I am exhausted. So I'm just about to go into Super Carne. I was going to try and do like the audio as I was walking around, but my phone is low on battery. I'm low on battery. But you guys, this is amazing. Maybe I'm tired because I'm in shock at what I was able to get done. I went to Multibank and closed my account. It took about an hour, and thank God I had my 2 passports from going to immigration because she needed them both. Because I guess when I opened my account originally, it was with that old expired passport. So that was a blessing that I had both passports with me. And so that took an hour. Then I went to Global Bank and I tried to, I wanted to get a bank card because I'd gone to the ATM and my card expired 2 years ago. And she said that it's like a $25 fee for the card. And then I remembered that's why I don't have a card, because I don't want to pay just to have an ATM card. So then I got money out, and then got the hair dryer at Arocha, and then I went to the DGI office in Penonome to pay the property tax. I tried to get out of paying the surcharge because the online system wasn't working, and I tried sending the screenshots to the email that they provided for the like tech support, but never heard back from anyone, and that was going on for like several months. So then I was just like hot and overtired and was just like, all right, I'm just gonna pay. At least the office is close, at least I don't have to go into the city to do it. So I paid the property taxes, and now I'm gonna go into Super Carne. I'm gonna see if they have tahini, and that's it. Maybe I'll find something else here. They have a good selection of produce, so maybe I'll get some fresh veggies. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe everything I got done. It's crazy. The car mirror. Oh, and I stopped at Tigo, my phone place. Last time I was in the States, I wasn't able to use my phone, but on my plan, I'm supposed to be able to make calls in the United States, even though I have my Panama plan, and I never got it to work. So I was able to figure it out in Spanish. Didn't have anyone to speak to in English, but between 3 people speaking Spanish and me, we got it figured out. I have to dial 001, 2 numbers in the States from my phone. We'll see if it works. Otherwise, I guess I can just get like a temporary SIM card. Whew, this stuff keeps your brain cells active. While you're visually browsing through Super Carne, I will tell you a little bit about the upcoming segment, which is going to be with my attorney, Laura Diaz, talking about how to create a will. I just wanted to let you know the expense to do that was it was under $600. So there were attorney fees, the notary fee, and other like miscellaneous fees. So that was under 600, and it only took not even maybe an hour and a half. You have to get, some documents together beforehand, like your beneficiary or your heir's name and identification number, but that was really pretty easy to do. I was so glad this little spot was open because I was thirsty. I was a little hungry, but not enough to have stopped in Penonome. So I got a strawberry batida and a little empanada. Home and on the couch. Happy place, happy place. I'm going to sleep well tonight. That's for sure. I love driving over on the bridge into Panama City. It's just a piece of history that's pretty amazing. Laura and I met at the Wallace for lunch, and I'll give you her details in the description. All right, so Laura and I are here at the Wallace. We're going to have a little lunch, and then you told me it was easy to put a will together? How can that be?
It's very easy. Our civil code provides everything regarding a will. These are all everything that you can think of. Well, not everything, but many things are provided for in the civil code. So it's quite easy. This document, civil code, it defines what a will is, the different types of wills that there are available. The most common being an open will, which is the one that you're going to grant.
Okay.
An open will is one that you do by a public instrument signed by a notary public and three witnesses. The civil code provides the requirements for the witnesses. The witnesses cannot be heirs. They cannot receive any benefit from your will. They cannot be relatives, either by consanguinity or affinity. And they must, at least one of the three witnesses must know how to read and write.
Oh, wow. And
Yes.
And I think you were saying that they couldn't be an employee or...
No
right?
employees, not yours or the notaries.
Okay.
Because every notary has employees. They cannot be witnesses.
How quick is the process to have it be a legal document?
The code provides that this is a very formal process.
Mm-hmm.
It must be read in front of the notary public, uninterrupted.
Oh.
So anyone who is unlucky enough to be waiting for documents at the notary's office will have to wait.
Oh.
Because the law provides that this is an uninterrupted act. So the notary will read the document out loud. He, in this case, it's a man. He will ask if you agree with everything, if you had understood everything, and if you say yes, you will sign in front of him. And for many years now, notaries have been asking to take a picture of you signing.
Oh.
That is because so many dead people used to grant wills.
Dead people would grant wills. That's amazing. We should call like the news outlets that they're coming back to life.
They're coming back to life. Yes. So dead people were granting wills. So the notaries are protecting themselves, asking for a picture of you signing. Another thing, it's interesting that the code provides that you have to have the mental capacity to grant a will.
That makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then, human nature, there were these people who were taking advantage of elderly, for example, and they would make them sign wills in their benefit.
Oh.
So a couple of years now, notaries are asking for a health certificate issued by a psychiatrist for the person who is granting the will if they're older than 70 years old.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
This is not a requirement by law.
Okay.
I do think that if I ever say you cannot ask me to provide you with this health certificate, the notary would have to sign the will anyway. They will not, but this is something that should be provided for in the civil code, and it's not. But the notaries are doing it anyway.
That's good for protection
Of
for the
course,
elderly.
of
Absolutely.
course,
Yeah.
of course. Yes.
So for a foreign resident, what does my heir have to do? Like, let's say I'm dead in El Valle and somebody notifies my cousin. What does he do? He gets to Panama, and who does he contact?
Well, the first thing to do is to find your will.
Okay, so I have to leave it somewhere where you can find it.
You have to leave it somewhere where he can find it,
Mm-hmm.
and he will then open a probate with a will.
So he has to contact an attorney.
Yes,
To do
because
that.
this is what our first legislators were smart. They required an attorney for almost anything in Panama. They protected the profession.
Well, it's true because coming from the States, um, you don't really have to have an attorney for many things, but here you have to have one for immigration, which I
For
didn't
most
know.
categories, there are some that do not require.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
how would an expat without Spanish be able to navigate that process? I mean, it is complicated.
it is very complicated. That's why most people hire an attorney.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's very complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Because try to go to immigration
Mm-hmm.
without speaking fluent Spanish, and you're going to receive a very warm welcome from them.
Yeah, and understanding all the signs, and you have to go in this line and then get that stamped and then go back to that
Yes,
line.
yes. You need an attorney for that.
So my cousin then, let's say, he contacts you and he says, poor Patty, she's dead. Now I have, her house and her car and maybe her cat.
Yes, very important.
So you open probate, or you open probate. Then what happens?
Then one of the main differences between open a probate with and without a will is that if you don't have a will, then you have to go to each one of the 13 notaries publics in Panama to request a certification that this person did not grant will in this notary.
They would have to go to, where are these 13 different notaries?
In Panama City, there are 13 different notaries.
That's it?
That's it.
Just
in
13?
Panama City.
Okay, yeah.
So the code provides that you have to ask for these documents in the last place where the deceased person lived. It's one of these things that should be amended because it makes no logic. What about if in the 90s I lived in Chiriquí, for example,
Right.
and I granted a will there? It makes no logic. But that's what the law says, so we have to comply. Then, for example, you live in Cocle, in the province of Cocle. At the time of your death, he will have to open the proceedings, the probate proceedings, in Cocle.
Okay.
Because that's where you live.
Mm-hmm.
He will take the will and he says, okay, open it, these proceedings, and the courthouse will do everything necessary to do this.
And um, I'm assuming he would want to have an attorney to help him through this
He needs
process.
an attorney to
Okay.
do this.
And
It's
then,
not something that he can do on his own.
okay, he can't just go bring the papers and say,
No.
here are the papers.
No.
And then how long is that process? Like
Well,
once you file.
it all depends on the courthouse. Some are quite fast. You can have everything completed in 6, 7 months.
Oh, that's not fast.
Yes,
Oh my
that's very
gosh.
fast when you compare it to some courthouses that can take 2 to 3 years.
Oh,
And you go
wow.
there and you ask, where is this, where is that, and they do nothing. So 7 months is a gift from God.
So my cousin he doesn't have to stay in Panama during this
No,
whole process.
no,
So he just has to come here, get the thing opened up, and then just be in touch with the attorney to
yes.
see. So interesting. In the meantime, I wonder what would happen to my house. I guess it could
And
be rented,
he could take possession.
or he could take
He
possession.
could take possession
Okay.
because he is the heir.
Yep.
He could take possession, but in case that he rented it, for example, he would have to say that he's not the owner but the heir,
Uh huh.
the declared heir, because at some point the courthouse will issue a document called Declaration of Heirs, and his name would have to be there. So he says, if I am interested in that property, I'm gonna go like, who you are? Who are you? Excuse me. Who are you? I'm the heir. Where can I see that?
And then what would happen with like utilities? Like if I'm
He has to pay for them.
no, how do you get them transferred into
Oh,
his
it's
name?
very easy.
It
It's
is
very easy. Well, not
because
easy.
it wasn't easy to get it
No.
in my name now,
Yes.
and in fact, it still has the name of the guy who owned my house before me. They merged our names on my electric account.
ENSA, right?
Nattergy.
Nattergy. Yes, they do that. They do that. That's a process that should be changed, to make it easier, because they ask for the previous owner
Uh huh.
to sign a document. What about if the person is not available, or
Exactly.
or I don't find it, or he just don't want to sign that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always arguing with them about that. They go, but why? If I can give you strong evidence that I am the owner, why do I need to do that?
Yeah. So I'll have to tell my cousin. He might be in for a little bit of frustration, but hopefully you'll find a way to get the electricity and the water to flow,
Yes.
and that you could pay for it.
As long as he pays for it, there will be no issues.
Right. Whoever's name it's
Whoever's
in. Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
And then, so after 6 months or 2 years, whatever it takes, then are there legal documents that he
Yes.
is then the declared, like he has
Yes.
title to the property?
Yes.
Okay.
The courthouse will issue a document in which the property is changed. They will order the notary public to cancel the registration in your name and to register it in his name.
I actually think this is what happened with the house that I bought, because the owner had died,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
his daughters became the heirs, and
Mhm.
I did have to wait quite a while.
I remember.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I was not patient because I wanted that house.
Of course, of course. Yes, but it all depends on the courthouse that has your. I don't know if this is a lawsuit according to the names that you give to each of these things, these proceedings.
Mm.
But it all depends on them. I've had excellent experiences with some courthouses, and I've had terrible experience with others. Terrible, terrible. And it all depends on the courthouse, on the
Wow.
judge, on the secretary. It all depends on them.
Do those change with every new administration?
No,
Okay.
they do not. However, just this last Monday, the new civil procedural code came into force, and it's supposed to change the rules. Now, proceedings will be all oral. It's supposed to make them faster. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. We can have hope.
Yes, we can have hope. Exactly. One of
Well,
the things that changed for the good
yeah.
is that, according to the previous law, you have to pay for an expert to appraise the property.
Oh.
This expert would usually do exactly nothing and would charge you for that. I've paid thousands of dollars for the signature of the expert.
Uh,
Now, the new code provides that the expert will be necessary in case that there are trouble between the heirs.
oh. That makes
So
sense.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. Hopefully.
Yes. So I'm glad that I'm finally doing this. How long will this process take for my will to actually be viable?
Immediately.
Immediately. Okay.
Immediately. Once we are done with the reading of the will, because we will go into the notary's office, he will read you your will
In Spanish.
in Spanish.
And because I've read the document previously, I translated it, and I do understand it. I'm hoping that for the notary that's going to be sufficient.
That's yes, it should be.
Good. All right. Well, this is perfect timing. Our food has arrived. It looks delicious. Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias. And Laura, thank you so much for your time and your expertise, your knowledge. And let's enjoy a nice lunch.
Let's do.
Remember, update your new address with immigration if you've moved. And if it's been more than 30 days, you might have a fine to pay. Send an email to your attorney for their guidance. This was my first time driving on the other side of the road, and they open up this lane on weekdays to mitigate the traffic that is usually pretty much in gridlock leaving Panama City. I'll tell you, it's a little bit unsettling to be on the wrong side of the road, especially in Panama. I hope you found this informative. I feel very happy that I finally got this done. Have a great week.